Oh, hello. Okay, welcome to the October 10th meeting of the mural subcommittee of the NCAC. As a reminder, this meeting is being broadcast to the town's YouTube channel and also via Zoom and is being recorded for publication, later viewing, and administrative purposes. So we have two items on the agenda today. The first was just a Q&A about the mural procurement process. If anyone has any questions about that. If not, I would like to proceed directly to the RFP because I think we have a lot to discuss. I have a fair number of notes myself. I'm sure many of you do too. Let me open the floor up for questions first. Does anyone have questions? Okay, then we'll move right to the RFP. Fabulous. All right, let's dig into that. So did everyone have a chance to review it?
Yep.
Okay, fabulous. So I know I have a fair number of notes. Why don't we start with Steve? You're the first one on my screen. Can you go through what your impressions were?
My impressions were good. It seemed to pick up. I was trying to recall last year's. Um, I I gotta be honest, I didn't really have any problems or questions with it. The only comment I have, again, not to be misunderstood, I have 100% confidence in the artists. I mean, that's what I did for a living. I've worked with them. And I just had a thought though. Um, there are a lot, I think we're very clear what we're looking for, and we're looking for it to do a lot. And in my experience, this is just, again, my personal opinion. I'm being very apologetic about this because I don't want to come across like I have an answer. Um, Sometimes when you ask for a lot, the best solution is to keep it simple and not to overcomplicate it. And again, having complete faith in the artists that come up, I did have a thought of a subject matter that would fulfill all those requirements. Just one idea. Um, the Needham Rockets, the rocket of something that which is it's representational but not too personal, and possibly, again, just throwing this out, and again, you can tell how I'm saying it. I always get shot down when I make suggestions. But the rocket, and based around Needham Sports, that covers the town. I know, Joni, you'd mentioned something possibly about the high school, maybe wanting to display some of their art next
Yeah,
to
that
it.
would be in an art box next
Yeah,
to the
the art
mural.
box, which I thought was a great idea, that. Um, but Needham Sports, and like something really graphic of the rocket and different sports in town, boys, girls. You can represent this without showing faces also, which gets into you know, who do you leave out, who do you include? So that was my only real thought of just, I guess, of a possible, again, without limiting them, but as a possible direction of the Needham Rocket along with maybe a sports theme to represent the town. But the RFP looked good to me. I mean, it is what it is. They're asking for a lot, but that's better we cover.
Abby, can I jump in with
Yeah, go right
some of the
ahead.
background? Because the RFP, most of the language comes from the previous RFPs that were
Right.
approved by legal.
Yeah.
So you're right. So your idea is fine. We can do anything with the creative, except for the 4 bullet points that are at the bottom of the top paragraph. Those 4 bullet points came from Grossman, and they requested that those be included in the RFP.
I don't have it open. Can you just read them to me?
It says, yes, 1, celebrate the unique character and heritage of Needham, parentheses, culture, industry, geography, etc. 2, reinforce a sense of town community and pride, which the sports thing does. 3, it's not numbered, it's just bulleted. Be
Yeah.
welcoming, appealing, and appropriate for a diverse audience. Ouch. 4, provide a lasting aesthetic value that complements the neighborhood and character of the surrounding area. And yes, it's long and wordy.
Yeah, that's
However,
okay.
there are financial 50% partners, and there's nothing in there that says to me, we should not honor that wish, because
Well,
it does cover everything.
Is my suggestion not honoring that? I
No,
thought
it does, it does.
everyone, that's.
But that's why I would,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
leave that and not make a specific sports reference, because the artist, given this town, community, and pride, can
Oh,
do.
listen, Joni, I was an art director for 40 years.
Yeah,
I've worked with artists. I know how to talk to them. I always trust them.
that's
So
right.
I'm not telling them to do this. I'm just,
Right.
but one thing I also did in my career is a lot of times I could give them without, and you can word it without, just as a possibility. That's all. I never would, I'm not expecting to say this should be a sports theme. I'm just saying, I think it'd be nice if maybe a way, if there's a subtle way of just saying as a possibility, like the rocket. That's all I'm saying. And I think it honors Grossman's things. Yes, Heather.
I just want to say that a couple things about the rocket thing. And one is that sports are huge in this town, and they usually get a front page over anything that is a creative event. So
Oh, yeah.
but that's my personal thing, is like, and I don't think you can even say it as a suggestion. You have to, if they said, I really want to do a Needham Rockets mural, then that would be the whole RFP. And I know you're saying it as a suggestion, but I don't think you can then say, like, for instance, we'd like this. So I think it would be a whole separate, that would be a
agree.
different RFP.
Right.
So
I know it's a slippery slope to mention it. So
yeah. So
I do understand that. I just speaking my mind. That's all. And
no,
I
it's
agree
a
with
nice
sports, by the
idea,
way.
but I think it's like a different, I think it would be, I mean, maybe that is something you suggest with the high school, if they have a spot for that.
All right. I have spoken.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Sheila, did you have something to contribute? You look like you are jumping,
No,
chomping at the
well,
bit.
there were a lot of grammatical issues that I went through in the RFP, and I'm happy to send them to you, Abby, and you can
No, send them
incorporate
to
them.
me, Sheila, send them to me.
Well, I thought Abby was chairing this committee.
She can't chair, she doesn't chair subcommittees.
No, but I'm going to take care of the RFP because I'm going to send it on to Miles for review with the for the council. So that's fine. Sheila, you gave me your notes yesterday.
Yeah, you're right, and I can go through it with you if you have any questions. But one question I have, first of all, this was written, I don't know when, but obviously we're not doing an October, November
Yeah, the
deadline.
dates are all wrong.
So that's all has to be taken care of. But I thought, Joni, when you were discussing this at the meeting, the general meeting the other night, you said that Grossman wanted this to be contemporary. So I'm kind of, dealing with not the history of Needham, but more appropriate to Needham now. So that's why I'm a little bit confused about, in the first bullet point, it says celebrate the unique character and heritage of Needham.
I asked them about that and they want it in there.
Okay, all right. So that's kind of contrary to what they
I know.
were.
I know.
They were.
Is it possible to? I'm sorry, Sheila. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's okay. No, keep going. Ask a question.
I actually had edited that just to piggyback on what you were saying, to say celebrate the unique character celebrate the unique character of contemporary Needham and I just crossed out of and heritage, because I also thought that we were supposed to be reflecting Needham as it is currently. So
I wouldn't put in contemporary. If you want to take out heritage, I can ask them, but I wouldn't put in contemporary because again, you're limiting the artist's response, and we have to trust the artist to respond in their way. So the unique character of Needham, culture, industry, geography, and leave that and just take out and heritage.
I think that's acceptable to me. Is
Yep.
that acceptable to everyone else? Okay.
Okay, next, again, a lot of my comments were more grammatical.
I had a lot of those
Yeah,
too.
okay, so,
yeah.
but, it's not worth our time right now talking about that, but, under the eligibility requirements, under number 7 on the second page, it talks about completed online application. There's, online application is requested or is referred to a couple of times. Is there going to be someplace in this RFP that says where the
There's a
online
link, there's a link once it's up and running.
Okay. Okay, and are we, on the final page under it says selection committee, are we the public art committee? This little group here?
I changed that to subcommittee.
Yeah,
Okay. Um.
Should it just be mural subcommittee though, since it's not really?
right, it should be mural subcommittee.
No, because this isn't all public art. We're just a subcommittee for this specific project.
Okay. And can somebody explain the last sentence to me? Excuse me, under technical specifications. That's mural be painted directly on the wall. RST much work. Who is the grant including, all right, I get artist fees, I get supplies, I get equipment, labor. Does the artist pay for the liability insurance?
Yes.
Does the artist pay for the police detail if needed?
Yes,
Okay,
but given the placement of the mural, there shouldn't be a police detail needed. Police detail might be needed if it's being painted like right at the edge of a busy street or a very busy, heavily, traveled sidewalk. But this actually has a little walkway right next to it, so it's
Right.
not gonna be a problem.
okay. All right, again, I had a number of notes, but those were more grammatical than anything else. But, this is my first time, my first like 3 months in the whole NCAC, so this is a learning process for me, which is good. And if some of my questions if they seem naive, they are.
Mhm.
No,
No,
not at
good.
all. And these are
No,
good
not at
questions
all.
to ask. These are really good questions to ask because frankly, those of us who've been through the process before could use a refresh, because every piece of public art is new. Every new piece in our collection, we're constantly expanding our public art collection.
Yep.
These are all new assets, and we learn something new every time we do it. So it's very good to ask these questions, and I appreciate your doing it. I had a couple of notes myself, if no one minds my taking a turn. Is everyone okay with that? Okay. I had just a couple. I had grammatical things as well, but like I said, like Sheila said, it's not worth our spending time on those. But I had some suggestions for language change in the design requirements. Under arts and culture are powerful tools for, instead of communicating values, I felt like that might be a difficult statement. So I changed it to inspiration and aspiration. I don't know if everyone would feel comfortable with that.
Well, it's taking out all the rest of it.
No, so the way I have it reading on my document, I changed it to arts and culture are powerful tools for inspiration and aspiration for for unifying neighbors instead of connecting neighborhoods and inspiring a sense of collective solidarity instead of unity.
I think it,
I think the values thing is tricky. I agree with you on that one. It's
I
very,
think it's very tricky.
yeah.
that was actually, most of this just comes from the Mass Cultural Council suggestions. And it came from, I think Charlie got it from, or we got it together from, the RFP from one from California and one from Wellesley, I think. So we
You-
just
you-
took it then, but,
You know what my hesitation is that currently we're a very polarized society and many of us don't share the same values. And I appreciate that art is something that should make a statement, but in this day and age, we want something that promotes togetherness and engenders a sense of unity. And I think that putting in an RFP that it communicates values is going to be divisive.
I
I
have
like,
I have
I-
a question for Miles. Sorry to put you on the spot. It's, so I know they're paying for half of it, but what is the protocol for like how much they can influence how things are worded or described? And then they want to be on the selections committee. Do you know anything about how that would work? Since we're a public
So
group council.
I think the intent, and this is just my understanding of it, is that the process for doing selection would basically mimic what was done last time. That's my understanding.
yeah,
I think there is and I don't want to speak for the board, but a desire to see continued public input in public art. And that the process for the last two murals worked very well.
So
And
they
I don't want to
have,
speculate beyond that.
they have, in discussions with them, they understand that the final decision for the mural comes down, is decided by the committee.
well, it's decided by the art council because we bring
Yeah,
it
yeah,
to
yeah.
vote
I
with the
meant
whole
the,
art
I
council.
meant the council, not the committee.
Yeah,
Council.
so,
But they asked to sit in on the meeting to see the three finalists, to weigh in on their, what they like best, which is perfectly fine. They can do that. And then let us do our thing and decide based on what we have. You know,
so
which is-
last time we had, we tried to invite two people from the neighborhood to be on the selection part of the so they're not on the subcommittee, but we had them come in, like people that had businesses there. And actually their vote ended up getting usurped by the town, like I remember it was sort of like, it was pretty closely split between the people from the neighborhood but we always take into, again, like what Miles said, it worked really well. And I think it's really important to have, so as long as they understand that
They do.
that they're just part of the process, but not going to be, they don't have a final word. It's just to hear their input or if they want to watch how the process is, but and so perhaps they could be, just to make sure, like legally, that perhaps it's okay to say, well, there's somebody from the community, that part of that selection that we had before, because that would make sense. That maybe that's a way it could fit in. Where it mimics what we did last year.
Yeah, they'd be one of the community members or business owners.
Yeah. I just don't want to give them, because it is a public thing, I just want them, I want to be really clear that it's,
They are
that
very
we don't,
clear.
that, because if they really wanted, like if it was going to be a private decision, then it should just be a mural they're doing without our help. But because it's also, this is my guess, I'm not a pro at this, but because we're working with town money and state money, I have to make sure that, I think that we have to work really hard on getting more people to vote too on the mural. Make
They
sure
were
that
very,
link gets out there.
when we met with them, they were very clear that they had, limited, not limited, they had a say, they had, their opinions would be heard, but that they would have no influence because they're paying for part of it, that would not come into sway at all. And they were very good about it. They said, you know, unless you want to put up something very offensive, we're not gonna be involved.
Yeah, but that's subjective.
And we
It's
told them,
offensive is very
no,
subjective.
no, they were joking, and they were very clear that they know that they, you know, they're too busy also. That's why they want us to do it. They don't have the knowledge. They don't have the time, nor the inclination, actually, to
Steve,
do this.
Steve, go ahead.
I hope they understand that, because they seem, every time we've questioned something, how it's written, you said that's what they wanted, that's what they wanted. I'm very happy to oblige them, but you seem a little shy in offending them or questioning them also. Just saying there's a lot of yes to whatever they say or do.
Not remotely. This was the only thing they asked for, was those 4 bullet points, which actually took out part of whatever and were,
Well,
you know, that's the only thing in this RFP that's theirs.
but that's a lot, actually, the 4 bullet points.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. That's like their bullet points are like highlights, and so you're highlighting their requests. So I think we should look at that more closely and add to it some of what we want. I mean, it's pretty broad, what they
It's
requested,
Extremely broad.
but I think you have to be careful how things are worded, like sense of town community pride, that's good. I
We
mean, nothing
we
is
had-
screaming like I would never want that, so.
We
There-
had
none of them
these
are bad
things,
points.
we had these things in there and took out what we had and replaced it with their language, which is not significantly different.
I would also maybe the part in those 3, because those 4 bullet points, I mean, by having them be bullet points, it's highlights in the document. So I would maybe simplify the culture, industry, geography, et cetera. It's like you're giving them ideas of what they could think about. And as Steve said, let the artists bring their ideas. So maybe try to leave it a little less directed in that way, but just,
Mhm.
So just take out culture, industry, geography, okay?
yeah, I don't think you need that, because
Okay.
you're already saying the character,
Okay,
and for some reason, I really don't like the word heritage of Needham unless you're
We're
going
getting
to
rid
say,
of that.
okay. Oh, sorry, maybe I didn't.
No,
yeah.
no, it's fine. I'm going to edit this document and send it to all of you so everybody can see it before I submit it to Miles to send it on to council. So everybody will have a chance to take another look and lay eyes on it and make changes. So don't worry, this is not the last you'll see of it.
And the other thing is, I know we're going into the wording, but aesthetic value, that's also so subjective. So, I mean, you're doing a mural and you're asking artists, so I don't think you even need to have aesthetic value. Like one person's idea of what is aesthetically valuable is going to be vastly different from the next person. So I think just saying, like just getting lasting aesthetic, and everything changes, nothing's lasting. One thing that, you know, might seem great in the turn of the century is going to be canceled nowadays, right? It doesn't mean you have to cancel it. I'm just saying it won't fit in with people's
we told them that
thoughts.
the murals usually have somewhere between an 8 to 15 year lifespan.
Okay, so that could just be somewhere else, the whole lasting part, because you talk about it has to be, you talk about the elements later on, so you don't need to even have that there.
Is what they're really concerned about that complements the neighborhood? By the way, that
Yeah.
should be an E, but that complements the neighborhood and
Yeah.
character of the surrounding area. Is that what they're really concerned about?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you heard
So-
them. Remember?
It's not
That's what-
exactly the most exciting part of town, though, so if you're gonna compliment it, I'm sorry.
It's not, yeah, no, you're right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
let's have mathnasium written on the wall or
Maybe-
something.
Yeah.
So I would say that rather than complements the neighborhood, and character, maybe something that, you don't want to say, but I think the wording could be different there.
Well, just take out,
Because I
The
don't
artist
think,
should
and should
consider-
complement the neighborhood and character of the surrounding areas. Just take out everything until complement.
okay. But that, and that's something that can happen in the editing, like,
Just complement the neighborhood and the character of the surrounding area, because they emphasize that idea several times. I don't know why. I don't know what would complement that area.
I would
Um,
just say
but-
something, and I wouldn't use this word, but something about beautification of the area, like
mhm.
enhance something different.
Well, enhance and complement. Kind of.
I mean, they already did beautify it by cleaning that area up. It looks way better. So
How about enhance the neighborhood and enliven the surrounding area?
like
I
that.
think that they really wanted, they used the word character several times, and I think that,
I think it's redundant. I don't know. That's me, but I don't like using the same word twice. You can
yeah,
ask.
I think
Right,
this
right.
is, again,
complement the
this is,
neighborhood and character of the surrounding area. There's nothing redundant there.
There's no character in that area. I hate
I
to say
know.
that.
That's what they're trying to,
I think that's what you,
I
that's
understand.
exactly what, I also think, keep in mind, like, you can't have them writing the RFP. They can give their suggestions, but
I
if
understand
they,
that.
if you have more, like, we have to keep that in mind. Because this isn't what they do, like you said.
Right, but
They
I
don't
also,
want to do
I
this part of it. They
I
just want a mural.
understand that, putting something in there that
I don't
doesn't,
think it's that big of a difference to change complements the neighborhood to enhance the neighborhood and character. I think that just sounds, it makes more sense. And I don't
Right.
think they'll have a problem with that.
I agree with you.
I
And it's
agree with
just-
Heather also.
I
Yeah.
don't agree. I think
Yeah.
It sounds like
complement and
I'm
enhance are
sorry.
different words.
Let me,
But
let
that's
me,
fine.
let me, can we just, there's too much, too many voices. Can we take a vote on that? Can we vote on, I'm sorry, the word is enhance. So, all in favor? Okay, that's 4. Okay, so we're gonna go with enhance. Sorry, I'm just gonna record that we voted on enhance. Trying to take notes and do things at the same time, so, okay. So I have now enhanced the neighborhood and character of the surrounding area. Is that what everybody else has? And we all agreed on that? Okay. Or not we all agreed on that, but most of us agreed on that. Okay.
And then the time frame in the second
Yeah, the
paragraph will
end-
get changed.
It would like to
I-
bring the professionally painted mural to Needham in the spring of 2026.
Yes.
Just direct and simple.
And then the artist must be available
Right.
at that time
Mm-hmm.
or at the specified time.
Yeah.
I rewrote the timeline last night.
Yeah, I did too.
All right, so let's compare notes. So the good news that Miles just shared with me is that we actually do not need to appear before the select board in order to submit this RFP and make it live. The select board believes in us and our process and is
Oh, good.
they're imbuing a lot of trust in us, which I think is
That's
That's
really
great.
Yep.
to our process and who we are as a team. So pretty excited about that. My timeline starts on October 29th, assuming a 2-week turnaround time, and this to get this to council and back to us. I'm assuming because of the holiday weekend, we won't be able to get this to council until the 14th, which would be Tuesday. That'll give us time because I will take a look right after this meeting. I'll take a look at this and incorporate all our changes, send it out to you. they probably won't take a look at this until Tuesday. So, Miles, sorry to put you on the spot again, but does 2 weeks sound like a reasonable time frame for council?
Potentially, I will let you know if otherwise. Context being, we've got town meeting in a little less than 2 weeks.
Yes.
And they're just, it's a heavy time of year. We'll submit it. They're usually pretty good about it, but just for total transparency and this is a heavier time of year, but
Okay. We can always rewrite it a little, to include an additional week if we need to. So based on a 2-week timeline, I have October 29th for opening of application process, November 28th for deadline of artist application submission. So that gives them a full month. December 1st for 3 finalists chosen and notified. December 3rd for survey goes out to town. January 2nd for submission of digital mural design by 3 finalists. January 6th for final design will be chosen. The reason why there's so much time there is because I avoided the week of December 25th through the 31st, figuring most people will be away and or occupied. January 7th through February 27th, review and approval by NCAC, etc. And then finally, early spring 2026, anticipated installation date. So I don't know if everyone was following along or writing that down. So Joni, did that align with basically what you had?
I'm about a week earlier, but yes, it's pretty
Okay.
much, my ending was, January 15th. So it's to the 27th, 15 is 12 days. So I'm just a few days behind you, but yes, it aligned.
Okay.
I have a question. Date.
Yeah.
The deadline that you said was the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you said November 28th, I think.
November 28th, yes, deadline for
It's a
artist
month.
application submission.
No, I realize that's a month, but I'm just wondering, first of all, is the town going to be open on that day? Does that matter?
No,
And
I can push things off a little bit more if that makes sense. I can restrict. I actually did not realize that was the Friday after Thanksgiving, so I can push that off a little bit more, and it'll just crunch the final review and approval.
if you push it to Sunday or Saturday or Sunday,
So if we make it November 29th for
Yeah.
the deadline, then we're okay.
yeah, just do it the 29th because they've had a month. They can get it in earlier than the 29th.
Their artists are gonna do it last minute.
And well, if they do it last
Oh,
minute,
yeah.
then the 29th is their deadline.
Yeah,
That's
same
it.
as the end last time.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay. And that gives us just a couple of days to get the 3 finalists chosen and notified. So we're going to have to convene either the 30th or on the 1st itself and then notify the.
Yeah.
all right, I'm actually going to be out of town until the 2nd of December. So I mean,
It's Zoom.
I'm sorry.
Zoom.
Okay, I
So-
didn't know if this was something that I had to actually be present for.
No, it's fine. The other, this is good information. The other option we can do is we can have the 3 finalists chosen and notified on December 2nd, so as to accommodate your schedule, and the survey will go out to the town on December 3rd. I'll just work really, really fast.
No, because actually I'm flying December 2nd. I won't be back till midnight, so that won't work. But whatever, I just wanted to make sure that I can vote or input or whatever if I'm not physically in the state.
Is that going to be convenient for you? Given, like, I don't know if you're, I mean, if you're like in Italy, gallivanting around Pisa, then that is probably not, I can't imagine you're gonna want to attend a subcommittee meeting. So if you want, I can push it out. Let me just
Well,
consult my
I'll
calendar.
be in LA, so there's a 3 hour difference. And I
Just
mean,
for context, you can legally vote.
can.
It's not like you have to be in the state to do a vote. You can-
okay.
You just
Okay.
you can't prescribe for somebody, that's all, no.
We can, Sheila, we can also just do 3 finalists chosen and notified on December 3rd, and then have the survey go out to the town on December 4th. And that's completely fine. That's totally, I'd rather work around your schedule and make sure that you're present and able to
But we're
be
gonna,
comfortable
this is
voting.
gonna be a
Well-
Zoom also, right? We're gonna try to do these on Zoom.
It is, but if she's traveling, I don't want to inconvenience her.
Well,
It's
I'm
more important
go-
that she's able to, do so comfortably.
I'm going to be at my sister's, so I mean, it's not going to be difficult for me to hop onto my laptop. And again,
So
if you plan a meeting for the 28th or the 29th at 11 o'clock or the 30th, at 11 o'clock, it'll be 8 o'clock there. I'll get up early for that.
That's awfully early. Okay, no. I'm just-
But why don't we do it, why don't we keep it on the 29th and just do it at 12?
So we'll have the deadline on the 29th at noon, and then we'll meet that evening. How does that sound for
Wait,
everybody?
November 29th and then meet. You say November 29th.
We can meet on November 12th, but then Miles won't be present because it's a Sunday. So we'll have to meet on November
So
30th.
I will be in the, sorry, I'll be flying. I just looked open. I will be in the middle of the sky.
All right. I'm going to make an
Then do it
executive
December-
decision. Let's do it December 4th. That way everybody is present and accounted for. And we will have the survey go out to the town on December 5th. It still gives ample time for the submission of the digital mural design.
Abby, does that
So-
give you enough time? Are you
Yes, I work quickly, and ask Miles, I stay up late.
okay?
So not a problem. I'll handle it.
What time of
All
day
right.
will that be? That meeting, just so I can set the Zoom.
Let's assume that December 4th to give me ample time. Let's, what does everyone's work schedule look like on December 4th?
What day of the week is that?
That is a Thursday.
It's
Do it
fine.
11
I
a.m.
can do
again?
I can do morning. I can't do afternoon.
Okay, 11.
I'm open.
11 o'clock.
That's
All
fine.
right.
with me.
Great.
Thank you for accommodating all of us travelers.
Absolutely. December 4th at 11 a.m. We'll meet for the finalists. I'm sorry, I'm just writing down everything, and then notify and do survey. Put it all on my calendar after the meeting. Okay, fantastic. All right. I just want to be mindful of the time. We budgeted an hour for this meeting, but so we only have about 15 minutes left. But I feel like we're wrapping up here. The one thing that we did not, I wanted to just circle back to my suggestion for the design requirements. We didn't really come to a consensus on that. We were talking about communicating values and whether or not to include the words communicating values, or to change them. Did everybody consider that? We had a discussion about it, but we didn't.
I thought we took it out.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Okay.
I think that simple and broad is better. Arts and culture are powerful tools for connecting neighborhoods. I think that connecting neighbors is, I don't like it. I think that it's a little bit insulting. Neighbors connect themselves and art doesn't connect it, but art does connect neighborhoods one to another. They have, as Steve said, they have sports in common or they have something else in common. But connecting neighborhoods and inspiring a sense of unity for all who live, work, and visit. I think that line takes in connecting people. Or you could just
How
put
about,
in,
how about saying connecting people
right,
instead of neighborhoods?
all right.
And then
I
at the, I would
I
put
like-
visit
yeah.
Needham.
I
Add
like
Needham at the
Connecting
end of that
people and
sentence.
inspiring a sense of unity for all who live, work, and visit.
Needham.
My suggestion was collective solidarity instead of unity, but I don't know if you feel like that's
I
too
think
verbose,
it's
That
too
sounds too
highbrow
political,
language.
too
actually.
political.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think solidarity, you're talking, it
Yeah.
feels like politics, which would be great if we
does.
could, but it, you don't want to have any kind of political flavor to the language.
All right, and Sheila, you wanted to add the word Needham at the end?
Yes.
Okay.
And visit Needham. Okay, good.
Got it. Perfect. All right.
So
and
so it should read actually, who live in, work in, and visit Needham.
Live, work, and visit Needham.
Live in, work in, and visit Needham.
Okay.
Yep.
I also think the word acceptable to a broad audience, I would just put appeal
Yeah, I agree.
or even just relatable. Like less, just have it say relatable.
It's an excellent addition. Okay. Perfect.
What word did we decide on there?
Relatable.
Relatable.
Okay. I'm going to send this out, so don't worry. Okay, and I had one clarifying question. We had budgeted up to $7,500 and Grossman is going to match that. And here it says the budget is up to $14,000. 75 plus 75 is 15.
Because we
want it-
need $1,000 for the honorariums.
I understand. Okay. Got it.
1,000, oh, because
It's 300 for each of the three.
so it's
Does
900.
the finalist get, does the selected winner, for lack of a better term, get the honorarium in addition to the fee?
Yes.
It's just for their time
Yes.
Right.
doing the drawing. It's
Mhm.
pretty nominal. It's not.
No, right, I realize
very
that, but
little amount,
since he'll be
yeah.
getting $14,000 and.
I'm
no.
wondering if we should increase the amount that they, or you're saying, sorry, I'm sorry, Sheila. I talked over you. What were you saying?
No, I would just say that if they're getting $14,000, up to $14,000, if the winner or selected artist, then, is that extra $300? I just don't understand why they would get the extra $300 for their
It's
time.
for
Because-
design time.
Yeah, it's right. We don't know who's going to be the winner. We can't take it back, so that's kind of standard in the industry of
Okay.
murals. I just saw one in New York where the honorarium was only $100. But they had, I think they had 10 finalists or something. I don't know.
So last year it was 300. Do we want to consider inflation, cost of living, which is hitting everybody? Do we want to increase that amount? I mean, I think we have to go to the whole board, right, to do that, but it seems like it would be a good idea. Because
Well, then we can only really increase it $50 each because we have to stay in the $7,500 budget. And
I think it's a really good idea. My only concern is that we would have to bring that in front of the entire
Yeah.
council, and our next meeting is until November 18th, which would push us pretty far
Right.
out.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I love the thought. I think it's a really good idea. It's just, I worry that it would push the
It's too
deadline off
far.
by like
Yeah.
almost a month.
Is
No,
it possible to have like, I think last time we did like a Zoom meeting just for that, didn't we? For voting on the amount, because it was all happening very quickly. But I don't know, maybe it's not worth it.
I don't think it's worth it.
That's up to you. I mean, what does everyone think? Steve, you look like you have ideas.
No, I'm all for paying artists, so whatever we come up with.
I'm happy to convene a meeting, a quickly organized meeting. I would need at least 48 hours notice in order to, post it. So,
If we
um,
go beyond $50 increase or 66 something, whatever increase, then we have to decrease the amount of the mural, decrease the amount that, Grossman is giving us.
I think at this point that we shouldn't even talk about it. I think $300 this year, we can discuss it for next year or next time we do a mural. $50 isn't gonna, make anybody
Right.
say, oh, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna send in the,
What if you just went up $25?
But we still have to bring it to the whole council for a
That
vote.
Oh,
I was thinking like giving them 500 for a drawing, and then maybe you'd get some really good drawings. That's what I'm thinking. But however, we did 300 last time, and some of those drawings just felt like not great. So,
What
We
was the
did
budget?
500 the time before because we had more money,
What was the budget for the last mural? The overall-
19,000.
How much?
no,
What-
not the last mural was not nine.
Oh.
It was $7,000.
Yeah.
And then we did an additional wraparound for $2,000 later,
Okay,
but that wasn't
right.
associated with an honorarium.
So this is, $5,000 more. So you would think that you would get higher quality for the I mean, it's almost twice.
So
80%
if we were to increase it to $500 each, the mural budget would be $13,500. It wouldn't actually decrease by that much.
But the donation from Grossman would have to decrease. And as,
because we still have money. We haven't finalized how much we're putting towards the NCAC grants. So, right, we haven't done
and yeah,
that.
it would take money from grants. It would take $500 away from grants.
Which is not a lot considering it's not a big percentage of what we have.
It's,
Just as a thought.
It's just how we want to allocate our limited dollars. That's basically what it comes down to.
right.
personally, I'd rather see the $500 go to grants. I think it will fund more people and serve more people in the town better. To have that $500, it could be 2 more grants, 2 more programs, 2 more artists that get exactly what they need to fund their program, but I don't think an artist is gonna say, I'm not gonna try this because it's not $500 when there's a mural there for $14,000 that I'm shooting for. That's, it's not the $300 honorarium, it's the $14,000 mural, and that's a big chunk of change that an artist is gonna want.
Do we want to, as they say in town meeting, move the question and call a vote? on this. I will abstain from this one because I'm torn, to be perfectly blunt. So I'm going to abstain from this vote. But the vote is for increasing the honorarium to $500 and bringing it each and bringing it to the entire council, or leaving that money where it is and dedicating it to grants. So those in favor of dedicating it to the honorarium?
I'm alone. Uh-oh.
Oh, it's divided. Oh.
Ah.
Okay.
I see the pros and cons. You want to keep it simple also. I'm sorry.
Wait, so
No,
what
no,
do you
no,
mean by
go
that?
ahead.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
No,
Might help.
you'd have to have another, we'd have to convene and vote on it. Is that correct?
Yes.
I think
Yes.
just for the sake of moving on and simplicity, this year, keep it at 300 and consider it though for our next mural of going up.
I agree.
Okay.
Okay, are we in consensus?
Mhm.
Sort of, but it
Relative.
doesn't matter. I'm not, but I'm outnumbered, so it doesn't matter. That's fine.
Okay, all right, all right.
Because it
So,
sounds like, Steve, you changed your mind.
I did.
Change your mind on
I'm
me.
I'm trying to move it forward, I
Okay.
guess.
okay,
I
all right.
agree.
Can I ask another, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, please.
Just a question I thought of while we're on the subject. We're trying to, work well with Grossman. In return, I like the idea of an art box and whatever, I understand why. Will we be able to, I do want to make sure it's compatible to the mural. And that's important. Can we also, or will we be involved in working with them with that? So that,
Yes,
to make sure it's
Yeah, what
compatible?
they said was we choose the art box, they install it, and we have the school or somebody put the art in.
Is the art box part of the, so it's a separate budget?
It's a separate thing.
Are they gonna pay for that art box then?
Yes.
So I have a couple questions about that art box. I agree. I think it could look really clunky next to a mural. That's my one concern. Is the artist that paints this mural gonna be like, what's this box doing next to my artwork? But I mean, that's part of it. You could have like a utility box next to the artwork. But
Right.
so is it just gonna look kind of weird? Like you have this nice wall and then a box, like, and also who's going to, like, I don't know what this box is gonna look like. So I'd be curious to know what, but again, it's their property, so
Right.
they
I
can
think-
do with
I
it
think-
what they want. But I would just, so they're gonna pay for it and they'll install it and they will make sure it's maintained. That's my, I mean, it's, again, it's their property, so.
The distance between the two is greater than you might be thinking. It's not really right next to it.
Okay,
It's also divided by a big sign, which is there, and piping.
okay.
So
So
there's
it's really,
kind of a visual divide.
just make sure they
My
understand, like,
suggestion was that we wait for the mural to go up to then determine A, if we need it, B, if it might be better, and I did speak to Avi a little bit, to just paint that wall one of the colors of the mural or whatever and leave it alone, or see if it really, he really wants the art box, then we get an art box that will complement the
I just
the
think it's gonna
mural.
be, I mean, you're right, I don't know the distance, but it seems like it could get really fussy. And does the muralist want to include that? Do you want to just
Yes.
include
We
include
will
that?
let them know that there's a possibility.
I think we
they're
have to say like, no, that's gonna be part of the mural, or not part of the mural.
It's not part of the mural.
No, but it does look like one space. The sign doesn't really divide it, and the pipe is just, it will be painted the same color. So we're just concerned it's compatible. I think that's the whole, and it's not this huge box that's gonna like detract from
No.
the mural or.
It's not gonna be
impact
like
it.
the one downtown.
Yeah.
So there,
They just
sorry.
wanted the mural up to the pipe, as far as I know, isn't that what they said, Abby?
I believe so.
Yeah, I'll
So
talk,
the mural is, it says in here 37 by 13, but it's
right, and
37
that's
by
up to the
4
pipe.
it's 37 by 14, which I believe is up to the pipe. But I can shoot Avi an email and just confirm that we both remember correctly.
I can do that. You do the other stuff. I'll just write to him. Because I just want to let
Maybe
him know
just
where we
CC
are in the process anyway.
maybe just CC Abby on it.
Yeah, of course, I always do.
Yeah.
But I think that I like the idea. I don't know if the implementation will work. And they don't either. It was just an idea that was floated to fill that space.
That's why I think it's like, because if I'm,
You know, if
Anyway, I'm
the
just
artist
repeating
looks at the
myself, but-
space, if the artist looks at the space and says, you know, I want to do that and is going to do it for the 14,000, we can bring it to Grossman and say, this is the artist's rendering and he wants to use that space. Is that okay with you? I
well,
don't think they
I
would
think
say
you have to
no.
know that ahead of time, so
Well,
that
we-
the artist knows what
Yeah.
to design, how to design.
Right, I mean, okay, so Grossman wanted it up to the pipe. Just on that side of the building, just on that part of the building. They were pretty clear that that was there.
So folks, I'm sorry to potentially end discussion, but it is 12 o'clock and I do want to be respectful of everybody's time. And the art box, while it is fascinating and it is sort of in the scope of our discussion,
Not
the
really.
RFP was really the only thing on our agenda. So I
Yep.
think we can maybe table that for our next meeting where we can discuss that further. And Joni and I will get some more information for you and we'll have a more robust discussion. So thank you so much for all of your really engaging
Thanks.
comments. This was really wonderful. I think this
Good
was a super
changes.
productive meeting. So I will get this out to you within the hour. So I will get to work on it right now. So keep your eyes peeled.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Abby.
Thank
you
you.
so much
Thanks.
for everything. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Abby.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Thanks, Miles, for
Bye,
sitting in.
Miles.